Welcome to the exciting world of winemaking, one of the most popular hobbies in North America. Over the next 30 minutes, you will discover how easy it is to make your own premium quality wines in as little as 4 to 6 weeks. This video will guide you through each step of a premium 4-week wine kit with ease, assuring you a grand success with every batch. You'll be able to make all the great wines of the world, including rich ruby reds like Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir, and Merlot, and brilliant golden whites like Chardonnay, Riesling, and Sauvignon Blanc, to name but a few. You'll be able to make wines you can proudly share with your friends and serve on any occasion, which will rival the quality of the commercial brands for a fraction of the price. Let's go over the 6 steps. Number 1, check your equipment. Cleaning and sterilizing our equipment. Number 3, primary fermentation, preparation. Number 4, secondary fermentation, first racking. Number 5, stabilizing and clarifying, second racking. And number 6, filtration and bottling. Now, let's get started. Step 1. If you have a starter kit like the one shown here, you probably have almost everything required to produce excellent wines. Let's check to see if we have all the equipment required. Primary fermenter. Food-grade plastic used for the first stage of fermentation. Plastic lid with a hole. Cover for primary fermenter. Glass carboy, 23 liters. Used for second stage of fermentation, can also be plastic. Plastic spoon for stirring with long handle to reach bottom of carboy. Bottle brush for cleaning equipment and bottles. Racking tube and flexible siphon hose for transferring and sample taking. Shut-off clamp used to shut off the flow of the siphon. Airlock and rubber stopper for use in plastic lid and carboy, allows carbon dioxide gas, more commonly known as CO2, to escape. Hydrometer, used to measure the specific gravity. Hydrometer test jar, fill with a sample of wine from carboy in order to take a hydrometer reading. Corker, used for putting the corks into the bottles, different models available. Sulfite crystals, for sterilizing clean equipment. Chlorinated detergent for cleaning equipment, not included. Optional but also handy are a bottle filler, measuring cup, and spray bottle. Now let's move on to cleaning and sterilizing our equipment. Step 2. We recommend using a mild chlorinated solution for cleaning our equipment. Prepare in an empty 4-liter or 1-gallon jug 25 grams or 2 tablespoons of pink chlorinated detergent per 4 liters or 1 gallon of lukewarm water. Pour into your primary fermenter to clean everything at once. With your brush, quickly scrub the sides of the pail and the lid. Now put the hydrometer in along with the spoon, rubber stopper, and airlock. Allow all equipment to soak for approximately 5 minutes. Proper sanitation is a key step in making quality wine. At this first stage, this is all we need to sanitize. Now rinse thoroughly with hot water. Avoid getting this solution on your clothes as it may cause bleach stains. Discard the solution after use. Store any unused portion of detergent crystals properly identified out of the reach of children. Now, everything is cleaned and rinsed. Next, we will prepare our sulfite solution. Add 50 grams or 3 tablespoons of metabisulfite crystals into an empty 4-liter or 1-gallon jug. For safety reasons, be certain to properly label and date this container. When storing, be certain it's tightly capped and kept out of the reach of children. Discard the solution if older than 2 months. Fill with cool tap water, stir, or shake to dissolve. We will next give our equipment a quick contact with our metabisulfite solution to sterilize our equipment before using it. Splash or spray a little of this solution over your equipment, rinse, and set it on a clean cloth. Step 3. Now let's get on to making our first batch. Our premium wine kits consist of 2 main items. A sterile bag of concentrated high-quality grape must, which is made with both fresh and concentrated varietal grape juice. Additive pack, which contains instructions, bentonite, number 1, wine yeast, stabilizer, number 2, clarifier. Some wines may have a pouch of oak chips. During the video, we will alternate from a red to white wine at each step to demonstrate that each type is as easy as the other to make. Remember, whether you are making a red or a white wine, all steps are the same. Add 2 liters of lukewarm water into the sterilized primary fermenter, and while mixing, slowly add the entire contents of bag number 1, bentonite. Mix progressively and make sure to have a good homogeneity with no lumps. Add the content of the bag of grape must concentrate to this bentonite solution. Rinse the bag with warm water, shake, and add it to the fermenter. Now, add water to bring the total volume to 23 liters. Stir vigorously. Must temperature should be between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius or 68 and 77 Fahrenheit. Make sure to use good quality water, as quality water makes quality wine. We recommend either of the following: distilled, spring, or filtered water at room temperature. Tap water is not recommended as it contains various impurities and chlorine which can damage the quality, flavor, and bouquet of your precious wine. If using tap water, it should sit out 24 hours for chlorine to dissipate. If you are making a wine kit which comes with a pouch of oak chips, add them directly to the pail now. For best results, add oak chips to 500 milliliters of boiling water and wait approximately 15 to 30 minutes, then add to the pail. Next, we want to add the yeast. Simply sprinkle the yeast over the surface of the must and stir in. Mix after 10 minutes. Stir vigorously for 2 minutes with your clean and rinsed spoon to aerate the must. This helps to get a quick start to the fermentation. The process of fermentation will start over the next 24 to 48 hours. We will now use our hydrometer for the first time. The hydrometer is used to measure the specific gravity at each step. This is the only way of accurately following the progress of your wine. To use the hydrometer, float it in the wine either in the primary fermenter or test jar. Spin to remove any air bubbles adhered to it, as they will cause your hydrometer to float higher and give you a false reading. Read the hydrometer where the liquid crosses the stem. Your specific gravity reading should be between 1.075 and 1.090. Our reading is 1.084. Note in the space allotted on your instruction sheet your hydrometer reading, the date, the type of wine you are making, and the lot number, which is located on the bag. Fill the airlock to the halfway level with metabisulfite solution. Place the lid with the airlock over the pail. The airlock allows the CO2 produced during fermentation to escape. Put the pail in a warm place between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius or 68 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit for the next 6 to 10 days. Avoid floors as they are cool. At cooler temperatures, wines ferment more slowly and at higher temperatures more quickly. In order to have an active fermentation, we recommend stirring the must gently twice a day during the first 3 days of primary fermentation to oxygenate the yeast. Let's check our wine. In this scene, we will check our red wine. Be certain to clean and sterilize all the equipment you will require at this and all future stages. Remove the lid, Let the hydrometer float in the wine to check the specific gravity. Fermentation time can vary from batch to batch due to temperature. If your wine takes a few days longer, don't worry, this is perfectly normal. If you obtain a reading greater than 1.020, check again every day until it is lower than 1.020. We should obtain a reading between 1.020 and 1.000. Our reading is 1.012. Note your reading with the date in the space provided on your instruction sheet. Step 4. Secondary fermentation. First, racking. We are ready to transfer our wine. Be certain to clean and sterilize your carboy thoroughly and to have the pail well elevated above the top of the carboy, preferably on a counter. Tilt the pail slightly, as shown with the pail lid. Assure your racking tube is well cleaned, first with chlorine, then sulfite solution, and then water, both inside and out. Hold the tube against the tap and force warm water to flow through it for 1 minute, as shown, to rinse it thoroughly. The key to getting a siphon prime to flow is to remove all the air inside the hose as follows. Fill the siphon with water and clamp closed so water stays in the tube. Place the rigid end in the elevated pail, taking care not to move it and disturb the sediment at the bottom of the pail. Place the flexible tube to the bottom of the empty carboy. Release the clamp. Notice how easy it is and how your wine starts flowing automatically. Be careful to avoid splashing, which could cause slight oxidation of the wine. Avoid disturbing and transferring the deposit. If your kit includes oak chips, they stay behind and do not get transferred into the carboy. It is normal to have yeast sediment at the bottom. Tilt the pail a little at the end to transfer as much wine and as little sediment as possible. At this stage, do not fill up the carboy. Clean and refill your airlock with sulfite solution. Install the airlock on the carboy. Place the carboy, preferably elevated, where the temperature will remain stable between 22 and 25 degrees Celsius or 68 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep the wine from direct sunlight. Interior lighting, however, is okay. Now, thoroughly rinse all your equipment and allow it to dry before you put it away. Be certain hoses and tubes are thoroughly rinsed inside and out and hang to dry before storing. Allow pail to dry completely before placing the lid on to store. Around day 15, check your specific gravity. Your red or white wine should be finished fermenting and ready for clarification and stabilization. Fill your test jar by siphoning until the hydrometer floats. The only way to confirm that our wine is ready is by verifying its specific gravity. A reading between 0.990 and 0.996 indicates that fermentation is complete. If your specific gravity is not between 0.990 and 0.996, your wine is not quite ready. Verify it daily until it has reached the desired level. Our reading is 0.992. We are ready to proceed to the next step. Note your reading on the instruction sheet for future reference. You may wish to consider keeping a detailed winemaking log of all your batches so you can add future comments as to the taste and aging characteristics. Step number 5 is stabilizing and clarifying. Siphon the wine from the carboy back to the primary fermenter. Stir thoroughly for 10 minutes in alternate directions. This will help to eliminate gases produced during fermentation. Repeat this step as many times as needed until the gas has been totally removed. The gas is totally removed when you see no more visible bubbles or foaming. Add the content of envelope number 2, stabilizer, to 125 milliliters of water and mix until completely dissolved. Add to the wine and stir. After degassing the wine, it is time to add the clarifier. Pour the contents of the Kieselsoll sachet and stir vigorously for 1 minute. Wait 15 minutes before moving on. While stirring, add the contents of the Ketosan sachet and continue stirring for 2 minutes. Siphon the wine into a clean carboy and fill it. It is better to add a small quantity of wine from your previous productions or from stores, or distilled water if needed, up to 5 centimeters or 2 inches from the rubber stopper. Replace the airlock and the rubber stopper. Place the wine in a cool area, if possible between 10 and 15 degrees Celsius or 50 and 59 Fahrenheit, and leave until wine appears clear. At cooler temperatures, wine clears more quickly than at warmer temperatures. Step 6. Filtration and bottling. Now, our wine should be clear and ready to bottle. You will notice all the remaining yeast has settled nicely to the bottom of your carboy. During the bottling process, we will take care to not disturb this sediment. We also recommend avoiding contact with air as much as possible in order to keep the wine aromas. Before starting to bottle the wine, we will make sure we have all the equipment required. 30 empty bottles, 30 corks, 30 shrink seals, 30 labels, a bottle brush, corker, sulfite solution, chlorinated solution. Make sure your bottles and hoses have been washed with a solution of pink chlorinated detergent and sterilized with sulfite solution. To make bottle cleaning easier, place 4 to 5 layers of paper towels at the bottom of your bottle cases to absorb water as the bottles drip dry after cleaning. Replace the towels each time you clean your bottles. Store your empty bottles inverted in the same cases. Pour some sulfite solution into a measuring cup for the final rinse of each bottle. Finally, rinse each bottle with a little bit of sulfite solution and place the bottle to drip dry. Pour the sulfite back into your cup. Clean 30 bottles in all. To make this task easier and quicker, there are several options for bottle washing and rinsing. Our bottle blaster is made of solid brass and stainless steel. The bottle blaster not only saves time, but also will do a more thorough job as well as save on hot water. To install it, remove the screen from the faucet, thread in the faucet adapter, and then attach the bottle blaster. Tighten with your hand and turn on the hot water between 1/2 and a full turn. As the neck of the bottle presses on the bottle blaster's trigger, a high-pressure blast of hot water flushes the bottle in a few seconds. Another very handy time-saving item is the bottle sulfiter dish. To sulfite your bottles, simply pour some sulfite solution into the bowl to halfway. Prime the pump by pushing down the nozzle a few times. To use the bottle rinser, give each bottle a rinse by pressing down firmly several times. Use your brush to assure any stains or deposits are removed. Another handy item is the bottle tree, like the model shown here. This bottle tree assures all your bottles drip dry, stay nice and clean, and do not fall over. Notice how quickly and easily these items work together. The next part of this step is on filtration, an optional but recommended step in winemaking. Filtering your wine is not necessary as long as your wine is clear. There are, however, many advantages to filtration. It helps eliminate carbon dioxide gas, removing any suspended yeast particles, and reducing the chances of your wine throwing a deposit once bottled. Many filter systems are available. One system we highly recommend is the Buonvino Mini-Jet. This is compact, of excellent quality, reasonably priced, and above all, very easy to use. To set up the filter system, install your hoses as shown. Install the exit hose on the outlet at the top of the steel plate by simply pressing it on. Attach the short drip hose on the spout of the drip tray. Finally, place the intake hose with the stainless wire on the pump inlet. Adequately pre-loosen the filter plates to facilitate inserting the pads. Now carefully insert the pads, taking care not to damage them. Use fine-grade filters, number 2 or number 3, for white wines, and medium-grade filters, number 1 or number 2, for reds. The filter pads can only be inserted in the way shown. Before starting filtration, we need to rinse away loose paper fibers and taste. To do this, we recommend running a minimum of 10 liters or 3 U.S. gallons of lukewarm water through the filters. Then, discard this water. Now we proceed to sanitize the filter system by pumping about 1 liter of sulfite solution through the system. Discard this solution. Now, pump half a pail of tap water through the filter system to remove any sulfite residues. After cleaning and sterilizing, we are ready to start filtering our wine. Place the drip hose into an empty cup or wine bottle. Straighten out the first 3-foot section of the intake hose with the built-in wire, as shown, and insert it into the wine, taking care not to disturb the sediment at the bottom. We will now filter the wine into a clean and sterilized carboy. Discard the first half bottle of liquid, as it is mostly water, and continue with filtration. After filtering, we will allow the pump to run and pump out the remaining wine in the system. Now be certain to rinse the machine inside and out before storing by running clear water through the pump and hoses and over the plates. Taste your wine to judge if its dryness is to your taste. If you prefer a less dry or a sweeter wine, add wine conditioner sweetener, Vinarome, as per directions on the label. If you prefer a dry wine, go directly to the bottling step. Place the carboy on a counter as shown and your 30 bottles on the floor directly below the carboy. Prime your siphon hose as previously shown. Insert your racking tube into the wine. If you did not filter, take care not to disturb the sediment. To fill your bottles, simply set the end of the hose in a bottle and release the clamp. Hold the bottle tilted so the wine slides down the side of the bottle. This helps to avoid both foaming and oxidation. Once close to full, again close the clamp to stop the flow and move on to the next bottle. Use the cork as a guide to assist in gauging the correct fill level when filling. To save time, there is a very handy gadget called the bottle filler. This time-saving device is very easy to use and helps to avoid spills. Once your tube is primed, simply insert the bottle filler into the end of your hose. The one-way valve on the end will open the flow only when it touches the bottom of the bottle. Again, use a cork as a guide to assist in gauging the correct fill level when bottling with the bottle filler. To top off your bottles, simply touch the inside of the bottleneck as shown. Let's cork our bottles. Our corks require no special treatment before use as they are sterilized when packaged. We recommend installing them dry. If you encounter difficulty when corking, moisten your corks with half a liter or 2 cups of sulfite solution and an equal portion of warm water. If you choose to pre-moisten your corks, moisten them lightly as shown, immediately before corking. Do not over-soak or use hot water. There are a number of different corkers available. We will demonstrate the various models. To use a wing-type corker, place the bottle on the floor between your feet and place a cork in the chamber. Set the corker on top of the bottle. Using your body weight, press down firmly to drive in the cork. The floor corker is perhaps the easiest to use. Assure the lever is fully upright. Place a cork into the chamber. Place a bottle on the pedestal and press down to move the bottleneck into position. With a firm, brisk stroke, insert the cork into the bottle. Allow corked bottles to stand 2 to 4 days to allow corks to expand and seal properly. An important aspect of winemaking is the art of presentation. Dress up your wine to show up its full potential and quality. This is especially important if you want to use your wine when entertaining. Your local supplier has an excellent selection of professional quality labels and shrink capsules to select from for all your needs. To apply labels, simply soak 15 to 20 seconds in lukewarm water to soften the glue. With care, remove the label from the water, position the label on the bottle, and carefully smooth out any large air bubbles. Allow to air dry in place. Minor air bubbles will disappear as the label dries. Notice the difference in appearance a label makes. To apply a shrink capsule, place it over the bottleneck. Hold the capsule on the bottle using a wooden or plastic spoon to keep your hands well away from the boiling water. Then, quickly submerge the capsule into boiling water as shown. A heat gun may also be used. Hair dryers do not work as they are not hot enough. Another method is to take it through the steam from your kettle while holding in place with a spoon and rotating the bottle. Be careful not to burn yourself with the hot steam. Your wine is now ready to drink and enjoy. It will continue to improve and mature with aging. Wine should always be aged on its side to keep the cork moist. Store in a dark area, as cool as possible, between 10 and 18 degrees Celsius or 50 and 64 degrees Fahrenheit. You will notice a significant development in as little as 3 months. When serving and enjoying your wine, be certain to explore and appreciate its numerous qualities of color, clarity, aroma, and flavor. Cheers! Enjoy your batch of wine. Should you wish to expand your knowledge about winemaking, several excellent books are available. Be sure to review this video from time to time as a refresher or for reference purposes.